In today's episode, I'll be designing more of the Witch Farm perimeter farming area. Confusing name, but it works. Anyway, so the plan for this area is to have the witch hut, and then obviously this big circle, and then either on the inside of the circle or the outside. I haven't decided yet. We're also ignoring this. I'm bad with commands. Anyway, either the inside of the circle or the outside. Probably the inside, which is actually what I'm going to test today. I want to have a bunch of farms, just like, we might have like another circle around like that, and then all the way up. So all the way up to the top, and then there'd be farms in that outer circle like that, which means there'd still be enough of a circle in the middle to fly in and out. Because I want there to be more farms as well in the center, so not just the witch farm. I want there to be maybe just a general mob farm, but which is toggleable, so I can turn that on and off. So I'll have a separate AFK chamber for that one, because I don't think I can. Actually, no, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out how to turn on and off the witch farm. Just get redstone lamps and light them up when I want. Same rule for the mob farm, except with water to keep the slabs there. I want an iron farm, and then I think that there was an amethyst geode down the bottom here, around this height. So that could, it lines up not perfectly, but it's pretty good. So I'll probably have one of those ones. And I'll need a storage system with a control panel that turns on and off every farm. I want every farm to have an on-off switch, as well as a button that I can press to activate it manually. I need that. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to start putting all of the items that I want to farm in this here shulker box, so we can have a look at that at any time, and to make sure that we're doing the farms we want. Okay, so the complete list so far of items that I want to farm in this area is this. We've got carrots, potato, wheat. They should be pretty simple. Again, cactus should be pretty simple. We'll do sugarcane. And then melon and pumpkin can just be pistons, probably the sugarcane as well. Kelp and bamboo, they'll be taller ones, but they'd still be good to have. I want wool. I want a lava farm, I think. But that one might be difficult, because that one would be semi-AFKable, rather than fully AFKable, which is not what I want. I might do a sea pickle. I'm not 100% sure on that. That's I don't know. I don't know, I'll leave it there, but I'll decide later. And then nether wart, I feel like that should be pretty easy, although I'd have to go and replant, which I'd have to do for cocoa beans as well, which I don't actually have in here, but I've just realized could be good as well. And then I might do a slime, and the center farms that I want are the witch farm, obviously, the mob farm, the iron farm, and I've forgotten to grab the last item, so that should be an amethyst shard thing, so because I want an amethyst geode in here as well. And then that should be everything. And I'm pretty happy with that, so if I just control enter, yeah, cool, I pick it up perfectly. Although I will add cocoa beans and amethyst. We'll go with that one. Yeah, we'll go with that. And that's a good, I think that's a really, really good lineup of items. Perfect, now that is stuck there forever. I can't get rid of that. I can't accidentally lose the shulker box, because I've got permanent access to it, which is exactly what we want. Now, I think that the best plan here to decide whether I'm going to do the outer circle is to build the center farms first to see if I've got enough space around them, because I don't want it to feel really cluttered. Like, there has to be some sort of space, because if it's the witch farm and then I start building like here, that's too close, and that'd take away so much of the area, so much of the vibe of the area. So what I want to do, I want to go through and I'll build up the witch farm, or I might just build the shell of the witch farm, and I'd probably build the shell of everything else as well, because there's no point building actual farms. It's creative. I can just give myself whatever I want. But I might do that just to see how it looks, and then use that to decide where. First of all, it'll decide if I use a circle on the inside, and then second of all, it'll decide where. So we'll do that now. I should really light this place up, shouldn't I? How many creepers is that? Are you kidding me? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creepers. What are you doing? Alright, let's go something like that and put it as tinted glass. Okay, that took a second. So that right there is the witch farm. Should I make that out of a different material? Glowstone? That is disgusting. That is hideous. What the hell? No, we're going back to tinted, or we'll go back to tinted glass, whatever, that works. And then that right there are the hoppers down the bottom that they currently fall to their death to. On? Is on the way to go? So let's quickly build the glass around it as well, which again should be as simple as commands. I could make this out of soul sand actually. It's gonna fill that entire middle bit, isn't it? Yeah, I should have thought about that. But that's okay, because you can't even tell. Like, although this is entirely glass all the way through, it doesn't really matter, because it only looks like it's one thick. But yep, that right there is the completed witch farm. That is a beautiful thing. If only it was that easy on the actual server. Now, it was pretty simple to make, to be honest. It was a bit challenging at times, but that's okay. That's the price you pay for an insane farm, really. Oh, the cat died. Oh my god. That's what oh my. That is devastating. Whoa, look at that. He's back. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Hey, look at that. Ka-chow. We are best buddies. Get a screenshot. Boom. Clip that. Best friends. Look at that. He was looking at me. We are champions. I need a name for this guy. But the guy in the server, obviously, because this guy... Well, they're the same character. They're the same cat, let's say. So I need a name for that guy and the guy in the actual server. So please let me know. Now, the big thing for space for the witch farm is this. But I don't have to have that. I could have an alternate killing method. So I really got to think about whether I want them to fall damage or whether I want them to not fall damage. Alright, so I recorded a bunch of clips of me testing different ways to kill the witches, and I couldn't really find a good way. I just decided that fall damage is probably the best way, but while editing this video, I found two much better ways than that giant thing over there, and ignore everything over there, because that is a spoiler for later. So the ideas I had were entity cramming, which I don't actually love, and this man right here then came to my mind. My man, subscribed to Garlic Bread, holds the key to this farm, because he single-handedly can defeat every single witch that he ever faces. Because if we go something like that, and actually fix the command block would be a brilliant idea. Something like that. Get a bunch of them down there, turn that off. He can't die. He looks like he's about to die, but the only damage the witches can actually do, look at love the name. It's a good name, I think. And maybe something you should all do, please. He looks like he's about to die, but the only damage the witches can do is poison. What? 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 Hold on a second. What just happened? I could have sworn that unless they can they do instant harming potions? I thought it was just poison and like slowness. I didn't know there was harming in there. That's not what I expected at all. I'm sure you can tell that's not what I expected at all. What? So I've decided that I think the only way for the witches to die is still fall damage. You know, as good as it'd be to have entity cramming, it's a witch farm more than anything. This area is a witch farm more than any other farm. So I think having it as the main one with the big tube kind of makes the most sense. As much as it'd take up a lot of space and be a bit inconvenient, I think that's probably the way to go forward. Now, the Amethyst Geode, the Amethyst Geode is definitely something we can't control. You know, I can put the mob farm anywhere else, but I can't move the Amethyst Geode in the slightest. So, I'm going to place that in now. That's not a block, apparently. What's oh, Amethyst block, of course it is. Right, so that's the Amethyst Geode. Obviously, it's not. Obviously, the Amethyst Geode is more a circular shape, and it has more blocks than just this. But this is the rough perimeters. There's a circle within that, somewhere, like that. Now, the reason we're in the actual server right now is to have a look at this bad boy. This is the mob farm. So, we're going to have a look at this, and we're going to do this exact design in that witch area, except without that roof. Because the roof, oh my god, look how many mobs that is. Look how many mobs, oh my god, there's a gang down there, the whole collection. Anyway, so this roof is only here to keep these platforms dark, but an easier way, well no, not an easier way, that is the easier way. A less time revolving way would be tinted glass around, probably around that mark there, all the way up. So you'd save a bit of time with that. Okay, so those are the boundary corners of this bottom platform. And I'll just have that go all the way up. So we'll probably have it around this, which is 101. So, wait, what's the bottom one? 101. And this one is... that's 64. So I'm actually going to add that in. 64 to 101. So 36, 37. But then in this farm, similar to the witch farm, there's a chute for fall damage. And again, I don't want to do fall damage. But I might... no. What I should be able to do is, should I have campfires at this one, I'm not going to get many witches spawning in here. They're the only mob that can actually resist against the fire. And I don't really care if they don't die and they despawn, because I've got a witch farm right there. I've got a witch farm right there. So, although I am getting quite... I'm not getting that many, actually. I'm really not getting that many for the amount of time that I've spent here. So I think that this one, we can really get away with it being campfires. So this is the actual platform for the thing. It's probably a bit higher than I'd want the highest one to be. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. But now we've got to go and we want to make it bigger. Not the platform. Because there needs to be space for the mobs to fall down. Like, that's fine, but this one isn't. So, if we line that up like that and bring it back by... let's go to about there. That'll give enough space for all the mobs on this block to get pushed off without running to the wall. Because if spiders grip the wall, that's it. They can just live there. But obviously these ones, that's too big of a gap, but it won't be this perfect square. That's just how it is for the command. It'll be relative, so it'll be about like there. So that's not anything to worry about. Okay, so 29 minus 36 is -7, I think. So then if we do light blue stained glass, that's it there. That is the mob farm. Right. That's a bit beastly. That is massive right there. And that's without any of the fall damage chamber. I didn't realize it was this big. But I don't have to have it that big. I don't have to have that many floors to it. But, look, go big or go home. I don't want to show up and get 4 bones an hour. I'm going big here. And then below here, I just have to have... because they'd fall down, like, let's say 4 blocks, and then... doesn't matter how many blocks. Just something like that. This is definitely not centered, unfortunately. Unless it is, which would be cool. Oh my god, it actually is. Are you kidding me? There's no way. The center block of this 3x3 is the center block of everything. It's a sign. It is an omen right there. That's what it is. So then they just fall onto that, which is fine. And then what else? Because what are the ones that I want to have here? I think I wanted to have 2 more farms, didn't I? Yeah, I wanted iron and I wanted the stone and basalt. So, the stone and basalt... okay. Alright. Alright. That could work. That could work. Because that could fit here next to the amethyst geode. To balance out from that one sticking out that much. That could work. So what'll happen is stone will generate and then pistons will push that stone across, and then that'll be in line with me over here. If I switch to survival, if I'm in the right spot, I insta-mine that. And then it'll do the same thing. First it'll generate more stone, and then it'll push it, then it'll generate more stone, but I'll have had to have broken this before it'll push it, so that it doesn't break anything, and so on and so forth, but in a much better and more efficient way than this. So, that's that farm done. So now the only one we have left is the iron farm, which I think should fit in here. Surely it'll fit. And surely it fits very comfortably, so that I can move these down a bit, because I don't know, they feel a bit cramped, and I loved it. But in saying that, I could just very, very easily just like shave off, you know, a few of the top layers of this farm, and then it'll be a lot greater of a gap. So that's not really anything at all to worry about. So now, how does that look? Better. So I'm happy with this. I'm really happy with how this has come along. Like, this is just the center part too. This isn't even mentioning the ones around the side. So I'm loving this area so far. So then we'll have the iron farm around here, and I'll do that now. No. Yes. I don't want to do it, but I probably should. I really should, though. I really should. But I don't want to. But I need to check if it fits. but I don't want to. I'll do it. I cannot believe how close this is. It fits, but just, look at that guy, dead. Really, I could have it different. I could definitely have it be different. But the way it's designed like this, perfectly fits. It's a little higher than I would have liked. But if that's too much of a problem, I could very easily go with something like this, with much shorter capture areas for the iron golems. And then I can just move the entire thing down like I have here. I don't know what that iron rod is doing. Lightning rod. I don't know what the lightning rod's doing in the center there. Just chilling, it looks like. But as for the sides, it doesn't have that much of... okay, look. It kind of halves the efficiency of the farm, because it means that villagers only generate iron golems every second time. I think this one... I reckon these guys spawned one last time, so they shouldn't this time, but they will the next time the iron golem comes through, the zombie comes through. So that means I've got to decide whether I want space, which means that I have to have less iron by about 50%, or whether I'd rather have the most efficient iron farm I can possibly get and have it look a little bit weird in the area and not have as much space. I'm thinking realistically, I shouldn't need the most efficient iron farm. As much as I'd like the most efficient iron farm, I shouldn't need it because of how much time I'm going to spend in this area. Like if I build the iron farm as soon as I've dug out this area, I'll probably start with these center farms, and they can just generate while I do everything else on the sides. And that alone, without any AFK, is going to get me way more iron than probably I'm ever going to need. So I think that I might go with this shorter design that I've got here. But as for today, that'll be everything. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing. It'd help out a lot. I'd really appreciate it. And also feel free to check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/itsgarlicbread. I'm live there most days, doing a mixture of Valorant, Minecraft, a bit of Sea of Thieves, kind of anything that people want. Like if you jump on and say, hey, have you tried this game? I'll play it. I have no life. I have nothing else to do. Please just come along, say hi. But that'll be the end of today's episode. The next one will be better. This is a bit of a boring one, I know. It was kind of a planning one, which I didn't like to make, but I think it's important to have planned out what we're going to do, because now I know exactly what I'm going to have in the center. I don't know the exact height and size yet, but I know most of what's going on, so that's really important, and I didn't want to leave you guys out of that. So that's why. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing and stay tuned for the next one.